Now, I need a little bit of a soundtrack for this video. If you've never heard this song before, I feel a lot like Todd in the Shadows right now. Anyway, if you've never heard this song before, the song is called Maybe Tomorrow. It's by a band called the Stereophonics. Now, some reason why this is important is because this song is the end credit theme to the motion picture Crash. Now, let's go back in the Wayback Machine many, many, many moons ago. Let's go back to May 6, 2005. Life was so much simpler then. And I had just walked out. Actually, just got ready to walk out. I was still sitting in my seat, just mesmerized at what I had just witnessed on the big screen. And I realized at that moment that I saw what can truly be described as a masterpiece right before my very eyes. And as this music started to fade out and I started to exit the theater, I looked over to AJ and I said something that's going to go down in infamy. I looked at AJ and I said, you know, mark my words, not only is Crash going to get nominated for Best Picture, Crash will win Best Picture. So, we get to the Oscars, and we're sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings, like we used to watch the Oscars at B-Dubs back in the day, and lo and behold, Jack Nicholson comes out to present Best Picture. Now, Ang Lee had already won for Brokeback Mountain, so it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that Ang Lee was going to win Best Director, and then go on to win Best Picture. I still had my heart set on Crash. I stuck with it the entire time. Now, a lot of tension was rising. A lot of tension was mounting in the entire room. Obviously, me and AJ were the only ones that gave a damn about the award show that was going on in front of us, because everybody else was watching sports and listening to substandard music. So, unbeknownst to myself, I was about to witness history that was going to be known as one of the biggest upsets in the Academy Awards history. Yes, that night Crash did win Best Picture. And forevermore, I have been given extreme bragging rights for predicting that from day one. So, basically, what I did was, I took a movie that I thought that was going to win Best Picture, from the second that I walked out of it, and I said it was going to win. You want to talk No Guts, No Glory on like the movie awards forum on IMDb? That's the sheer definition of No Guts, No Glory. I took a movie that no one had any faith in. No one thought that it could upset the juggernaut that was Brokeback Mountain. But it did. And forevermore, I would try to replicate that. Now, I tried many years after that to try to replicate the status, putting my hopes on Little Miss Sunshine, and putting my hopes on The Fighter, but it never was to be. And this year, we've got another opportunity on our hands for me to make history once more. On October 12th, I walked into a theater just like I did back in 2005. And I had the same opinion. Argo is going to win Best Picture. I said Ben Affleck is going to win Best Director. And I told everyone about it. Everybody that could hear the sound of my voice. I told people at my job. I told people at B-Dubs. I told people outside of my friend circle. I told people in chat rooms. During live podcasts. For the SNS Radio Network and WDW Today. That Argo is going to win. And everybody looked at me strange. They're like, Owen, there's no way. I mean, the movie was good and all, but I mean, there's Zero Dark 30, and it's topical, and Les Mis, I mean, Hooper's amazing, and he already won for the King's Speech, so, and even though it pissed everyone off, including myself, but, I mean, no, there's no way Argo's gonna win. There's so many other movies. I mean, Silver Linings Playbook is absolutely incredible, and just Life of Pi is breathtaking, and just one by one they just shot down my idea. Well, this is when we get to where we are today. It is Thursday night, the 21st of February, and we are a mere 3 days away from the Academy Awards. And not only is Argo potentially to win Best Picture, it's the front runner. Now, every year I do this, and this is the first time I've done this visually, obviously, but every year AJ and I do our best and worst of the year, and we do our actual predictions, what we would like to see nominated, and when we do the ICC Awards on the IMDb website, on their former Oscar Buzz Now Movie Awards forum. And this year is no different. However, this year I have a new medium, being this YouTube channel. So I'm going to go through the Academy Awards, and once again, like with the Globes, like with the BAFTAs, all the award shows we have been through this entire season, I'm going to do this one last time. There's 3 potential winners. One I consider my guaranteed win. One I consider my upset that could possibly win out of nowhere. And one is the dark horse that could shock the world. Now, AJ's calling me, and I'll have to get back to him in just a few minutes. Actually, I'll call him after this video is over. But, basically what this is, there's what I think will win, what could win, and what has an outside shot of winning. Now, I have spent the entire day, and this is a shoot, the entire day going through all the nominations through all the award shows from this season. I've went all the way back to New York and LA Film Critics, National Board of Review, all the guilds, even the Annie Awards. I mean, I have gone back and checked to see who could possibly win based upon that fact. And it's changed a couple of my predictions, I won't lie. So, here I now present to you 100%, absolutely, no wavering, no changing, my concrete predictions for the Academy Award ceremony this coming Sunday evening. Alright, now, first off, before we get started, the Oscars has had a very, very rich history. The Oscars were first handed out in May 26, 1929. And there are a lot of very deserving and undeserving films that have won throughout the years. And last year, of course, we had pretty much a sweep year where The Artist took everything. And this year has been the complete and total opposite. Everything has been up in the air, which of course was an Oscar nominee several years ago. But when you come down to it, anything can happen this year. There has been frontrunners, and one by one they got eliminated and replaced with the next big thing. The next possible contender, after everyone thought that Zero Dark 30 was going to win. Nope, it fizzled out. And then Les Mis, and it fizzled out. And there's so many options that you have right now that could possibly win Best Picture and win any award at the Oscars this year. But I'm going to start with looking at my predictions here. And we are starting with Best Documentary Short. Full disclosure, I haven't had a chance to watch these yet. I am basing these on the fact of, I can't say precursors, I could say people that have watched them. I have watched the trailers. So, this is my predictions. For Best Documentary Short, my win, it'll surprise a few people that have seen it, my win is Innocent. I watched the trailer today, and it sounds really interesting. An interesting concept about a normal girl who goes to school just like everyone else, but she's also homeless. And I think that's a really good push-button topic that could net this film the Oscar. My upset is the one that everyone is predicting right now. Absolutely everybody is predicting Open Heart. And it's one of those tug-at-the-heartstrings films. So I think it's got a good chance to win. However, I'm not giving it my win because I want to see Innocent win, and I think it could pull the upset. One of many upsets in this year. And my dark horse would be Mondays at Racine. So those are my three. Innocent wins Best Documentary Short. The upset for Best Documentary Short is Open Heart. And Mondays at Racine is going to be my dark horse. Now, oh, pardon me real quick if there's a problem with my sinuses. It's like 20, 30 degrees outside. And I just walked outside for a split second to throw out trash. And, yeah, it's not very fun. So, sorry about the sinuses if you hear, like, weird Bobcat Goldthwait noises. So, I'm sorry about it. I don't understand what you're trying to do. Anyway, my Bobcat was a lot better many years ago. But anyway, I'm also about 3 weeks from doing boat shows with David Hasselhoff. Anyway, meet Sir Owen and the Knight Rider. Alright, now, random. Best live action short. My win is Curfew. Now, if you've not seen it, obviously another thing too, I've not seen these either, because I haven't had a lot of time on my hands. I have too much time on my hands, and I have Watcher's Lays, which is the opposite of Kevin Smith's Writer's Lays. I mean, I have Writer's Lays too. I have Writer's Coma, to be totally honest, because I just don't want to do anything. I'd rather be entertained. But instead of watching some of these movies and watching some of these shorts, I have decided to listen to podcasts. And that's basically it. That's all I do now is listen to podcasts. So, between that guy with the glasses and the SNS Radio Network and the O Show and WW Today, I have pretty much exhausted my podcast. So, you're getting this video now. Best live action short will go to Curfew. And like I said, it's a very interesting topic. Actually, there's a guy who is pretty much suicidal. And he slits his wrists in the bathtub. And right after he does that, he gets a call to take care of either, I think it's niece, possibly. And it's supposed to be really good. I actually really want to watch it sometime when I get a chance. And live action short, that's my win. My upset is Assad, which I think that it has a lot of potential, being it's another push button topic right now. And I think that it's got a chance, and it's Oscar bait anyway. Henry is my dark horse, so that's going to be my 3. And now I've got those out of the way, I can actually talk about something I know a little bit about. We're going to talk about Best Animated Short. Now, today I went ahead and watched Head Over Heels, Fresh Guacamole, and Adam and Dog. And, of course, I'd already watched The Longest Daycare and Paperman, so I'm covered. I'm covered on Best Animated Short. And, you know, it's a category that AJ and I seem to cover every year. No matter if we don't miss the live-action shorts or the documentary shorts, we always seem to catch the animated shorts, including a lot of really awesome ones we've rooted for in the past, a lot of really awesome ones we watched. This Way Up, it's incredible, go watch it, and Logorama. So these are 2 awesome ones that have won. And it's one of the only times I'll vote against Disney, because sometimes there are better options. But in this case, I'm not gonna. Now, if you go back to... Well, I gotta go back here. So, there's not really many precursors for this award. There's no precursors for this award whatsoever. However, at the Annie Awards, Head Over Heels did win Best Student Film. That's a very strange award for it to win, but it won Best Student Film. And Paperman took home Animated Short Subject at the Annie Awards. So, needless to say, I guess you could call those precursors somewhat. So we're going to go ahead and say that right now. Paperman's going to win. And it's going to be the first time that Disney's won in multiple years. And it's very deserved, because Paperman is absolutely just wonderful. Just a very well done, very well made piece of art. And sounds really pretentious, I'm aware, but still, I really enjoy Paperman. My upset for the Oscars is going to be Head Over Heels. And I mentioned Head Over Heels because it's really, really, really good. Okay, here, basically, the story of Head Over Heels is there's a couple, and one lives on the ground and one lives on the ceiling. And basically, they are split apart. Their relationship, their marriage is pretty much falling apart because one's on the ceiling, one's on the ground. So it's really heartwarming. It tears the heartstrings, and and put a tear in my eye. Then again, that's not hard to do, but still, it was pretty good. And you know what? I really enjoyed it. I understand why it's AJ's win. And if they don't give it to Paperman, this is what I like to see win. My dark horse is Adam and Dog. Now, strangely enough, I wasn't going to vote for Adam and Dog because midway through, I kind of got bored with it. Basically, what Adam and Dog is, it's Adam and Eve, but before Adam and Eve. Basically, before Adam met Eve, he had a dog. I'm guessing it's more symbolism. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But then, of course, he meets Eve, and then he pushes the dog away, and then in the end, spoiler alert, the dog comes back to both of them. I thought it was really well done. And upon looking, I found out that both of these, not wins, but the upset and the dark horse, are by Minku Lee, who also works for Disney. So, that's pretty awesome. So, pretty much we have a really good chance to win this. Like, almost complete chance to win this. Unless they give it to Longest Daycare, which I don't see that happening. Fresh Guacamole is really, really weird and strange. Basically, it's this guy who's pretty much trying to make inanimate objects into guacamole and pretty much ends it with eating casino chips. Yeah, that's awesome. Very strange, very odd movie. Okay. Let's talk best sound mixing and sound editing. Now, the sounds are not my friend. They never have been. I've always predicted them wrong. And usually, 9 times out of 10, the same movie wins. However, I'm not predicting that. Now, if we look at the sounds, there's really not many actual precursors to them that we could really use, so I'm not really going to use those. But right now, I'm going to look at the fact that my win for sound mixing is going to be Les Mis. I think Les Mis wins. I like the sound in Les Mis. I think it was done really well, and it's going to win. My upset is Life of Pi. I think Pi is going to win big at the Oscars, and it's got several awards that I think it's going to win, but I'll get to that later. My sound mixing dark horse is Argo, because you have to think it's going to win a 4th award somehow. So it's my dark horse. I'd like to see it win, obviously, because it needs another win, but it's my dark horse. So it's not my upset, it's not my win, it's my dark horse. So that's the best way to put it. Sound editing, I'm going to give to the Life of Pi. So Life of Pi is going to get my sound editing. Zero Dark 30 is going to be my potential upset. And my dark horse is going to be Django Unchained. I do not 100% see Django going home empty-handed at the Oscars. But I'll get to that in a little bit. Alright, let's talk visual effects. Okay. Now first off, the fact that Cloud Atlas was not nominated is just mind-blowing. Cloud Atlas, by and large, is one of the best movies of 2012. It's a movie that you either liked or you hated, and there's a lot of tremendous performances in it. Halle Berry and Hanks is great in it. It's just a very, very well done movie. Jim Broadbent is awesome in it. I enjoyed it very much. Completely. I thought it was really well done. I mean, I haven't seen Jim Sturgis in a while, and he was really good in it, and basically just a very entertaining movie. A very controversial movie nonetheless, but still a very entertaining movie. And I'll tell you right now, I'd like to have seen it here. And honestly, if I'm going to talk about cinematography, The Master should have been here too. And say what you want about The Master, but the cinematography was outstanding. And it should have been here. But this is the Oscars. These are my Oscar predictions. My win all day long is Life of Pi. You want to talk about a visually stunning movie? Life of Pi is where it begins and ends, right there. Absolutely breathtaking views, the scenery, everything was done perfectly, and I very much enjoyed myself. My upset is going to be Skyfall. I know a lot of people want to see Deakins take this. And, you know, I'm not in that group because obviously I wasn't a big fan of Skyfall. I need to watch it again. I'm aware. I've been told over and over again. Stop telling me that. I know I need to watch Skyfall again. But still, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen this time. My dark horse is really interesting too. Because my dark horse is going to be Prometheus. I know it's really strange. Wow, I think I just totally messed that up anyway. But, we're talking visual effects. Wow, I totally messed that up. So, yeah, we're going to go to cinematography in this case. Which, I was talking about visual effects, but, it does begin and end with The Life of Pi. I think my upset is The Hobbit, and my dark horse is going to be Prometheus. And since I already mentioned it anyway, best cinematography. Now, actually, it does have precursors. Skyfall won Los Angeles Film Critics, and Life of Pi won the Critics' Choice and the BAFTA, and it's going to win the Oscar. Cinematography goes to Life of Pi. I think Skyfall is my upset, and Anna Karenina is my dark horse. So, yeah, I mentioned those now, so now I can go back to the order I was into. I don't know how I messed that up, but it's been a long day, sorry. Let's talk about Best Original Song. Now, I did go ahead and listen to Before My Time, which is Scarlett Johansson's song, credit music from Chasing Ice. Actually, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't a bad song, actually. It was pretty good. My win is Suddenly for Skyfall. Yes, as of Sunday, Adele will be an Oscar winner, and I'm not a big fan of the song, but it's gonna win. Suddenly from Les Mis is going to be my upset, and I would have thought it would have had a better chance if it would have won anything else, but it hasn't, and Skyfall's pretty much won all day, every day. My dark horse in this is actually going to be Pi's Lullaby from Life of Pi. I mean, it got a surprise. I do mean a very surprise victory. So, that's what I'm looking at as to win, be a surprise victory. Getting a nomination just crazy. But, that's basically what we're going to do with that one. Now, original score. With score, you have a lot of really awesome music, really well done films. And you know, John Williams should probably win for Lincoln, but he's not my win. My win is Life of Pi. And, it's brilliant. It's brilliant overall. I mean, if it would have been a different year, Life of Pi would have won Best Picture. And it was just a very well done movie. I like it a whole lot more every time I see it. And in this case, it's my win. Skyfall is actually going to be my upset in this category because Skyfall, obviously Bond has a lot of very memorable music. And the score for Skyfall works really well. And Lincoln, John Williams' score, is going to be my dark horse. So it's very strange to say that, but that's how it's going to go. Let's talk about costumes. And this whole season, this whole time, costumes have been about one movie and one movie only. Joe Wright's overrated Anna Karenina. And it's not going to be any different this Sunday night. Anna Karenina is my win. Les Mis is actually going to be my upset. I mean, it's possible it could upset. It's a very good chance. But I think Anna Karenina is definitely my win. And you know, Snow White and the Huntsman is actually going to be my dark horse in this case. So, you got 3 nominees for Best Makeup and Hairstyling. What a great title for a category. You have The Hobbit, you have Hitchcock, and you have Les Mis. Well, if you look at it from that perspective, it makes it a little harder. Because, if you really think about it, Hitchcock has great makeup. Not so much on the hair. Hobbit has great makeup. Not so much on the hair. Les Mis has great makeup. And also has hair. That's right. So based on the law of averages, And sheer dumb luck, Les Miserables is actually going to win Best Makeup and Hair. Now, if it was Best Makeup, I would give it to The Hobbit. But it's Best Makeup and Hair, so it's going to go to Les Mis, because it has both. Production Design is going to go to Anna Karenina. Again, I'm not happy to give it awards at all, but I have to go not with my heart, but with my head. Anna Karenina is my win. Les Mis is actually going to be my upset. My dark horse is Lincoln. Let's talk editing. Okay, now precursors for editing. Zero Dark 30 started off everything with a bang, won the Los Angeles Film Critics, and when we got televised award shows, it actually won the Critics' Choice Awards. Argo came back with a vengeance and took the BAFTA, and now we get to the Oscar ceremony. Editing usually goes to the Best Picture winner. Almost 9 times out of 10, that's what's going to happen. And it's not going to be any different this year. Now, my order is probably a little bit different from everyone else's, but here's what I've got. My win for film editing is Argo. My upset, the movie that could take Argo down, even if it's just like a last-minute voting spree, is Lincoln. My dark horse in this category is a movie that not many people have been talking about for anything other than the fact that it's got nominated in every category. It got a picture nod. David O. Russell got a director nod. Jennifer Lawrence got nominated. Bradley Cooper got nominated. Jackie Weaver even got nominated. And Robert De Niro got nominated. Yes, I'm talking about Silver Linings Playbook, and it is my dark horse. It is weird to use the word dark horse talking about Silver Linings Playbook, but in this case, you kind of have to. Let's talk Best Documentary Feature. Now, this year, it's been about one movie and one movie only. And very deserving on this. If you haven't seen it yet, there's a movie that came out, I think it was 2008. I'm not good with dates, and I really don't have the time to go through and find out. Oh, forget it. I'll go look. It was, I think it's 2008, but I'm not quite sure. Let me go look to be safe. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. But, there was a movie that came out. Yeah, good times, I was right. Came out in 2008, right? And this movie was called Man on Wire. Alright, let's go. Yeah, 2008, sweet. If you've never seen Man on Wire, it's basically about a tightrope walker who is trying to do a high wire routine between the World Trade Center Twin Towers that happened back in 1974. And a lot of people considered it the artistic crime of the century. This movie was done by a director that I've never heard of before. And this man, where are you? Where's the writer here? This man's name is James Marsh. He also did a movie that came out in 2011 called Project Nim, which actually wasn't terrible. And he's known for the Red Riding movies, so we're good on that. Now, one thing I do want to mention is, this all brings up the movie that we're talking about. It's been the juggernaut this entire Oscar season. And basically, this is all about searching for Sugar Man. Basically, a guy who is only known before this as a guy on a television, just an actor on a television series. His name is Malik Bendjelloul. Malik Bendjelloul. And he is the director of Searching for Sugar Man. Searching for Sugar Man is a documentary about a person that most of you have never heard of. It's a musician by the name of Rodriguez. And he was famous in the 1970s. And a lot of things, apparently, telephone has followed him his entire life. Which, of course, we know the telephone game. You tell one person one thing, and by the time you get there, it's completely opposite and twisted around so bad you don't even know what you originally said in the first place. Basically, a lot of people said he died. A lot of people said so many things that happened to him. This is about what happened to Rodriguez when two South Africans go out to find Rodriguez and find out what happened to him, if he's still alive, if he's still performing. And it's an amazing, amazing documentary. It was very, very well done. And I'll tell you right now, absolutely incredible. If you get a chance to see it, go see it. And the only other thing that won for documentary was The Gatekeepers. It won the Los Angeles Film Critics. So this whole season, basically, it has been all about Searching for Sugar Man. And you know what? It's got to continue. Searching for Sugar Man is my win. I'm even saying it's winning the BAFTA. I'm even saying it already did. I'm even saying it's going to win the Spirit Award on Saturday night. Searching for Sugar Man's my win. Actually, no. I'll go back to that. It's been a long day. Sorry. I'll go back. I'm gonna backtrack. It's okay. No problem. I don't edit, so I'm backtracking. So Searching for Sugar Man's winning. It's not nominated for the Spirit Award. So I know, AJ, you caught me on that, so I'm reversing it. And we're going to go back to what I was saying. The movie that won the Independent Spirit Award, that could win the Independent Spirit Award this Sunday, is How to Survive a Plague. And it's another movie, an AIDS documentary, actually, that was actually pretty good, and we actually watched that in Athens at Athena Cinema. It's going to be my upset. The only movie that can legitimately take out Searching for Sugar Man. It won't happen, but I mean, it's the only one that absolutely could. My final would be my dark horse, and it's The Invisible War. I mean, Kirby Dick did a film documentary several years ago called This Film Is Not Yet Rated, and he's not that liked by his peers, and I'm not exactly sure how this got nominated, because it's a very strange topic about, it has to deal with the military, and, I gotta figure out how to say this without, okay, let me read you the exact title here from IMDb, because you know what? I don't want to say this actual title for The Invisible War. The Invisible War basically is, I'm going to read this verbatim, an investigative documentary about the epidemic of rape of soldiers in the U.S. military. Good, I had to say it anyway. Ugh. Anyway, so they don't like Kirby Dick, so I think he's my dark horse, though. I mean, 5 Broken Cameras could possibly come in. The Gatekeepers did win before, so, I mean, it still could be on the outside looking in, even more so than my dark horse. So that's going to be my 3 for that. It's going to be Searching for Sugar Man's going to win. And I'm going to go with How to Survive a Plague is going to be my upset, and my dark horse is The Invisible War. So, foreign language film. Oh, God, I'm so angry at this. First off, number 1. How could you not nominate The Untouchables is beyond me. The Untouchables, not just a foreign film, but a very well done film. Basically, there's a guy who is rich and he pretty much hires a caretaker. And this guy is from the projects, and it's really interesting to see how they gel together and how they deal with life together. And it's really, really funny. So, basically, go see it if you get a chance to, honestly. And it's actually getting an American remake somewhere in the near future. So, if you get a chance to watch that, please do. The Untouchables is amazing, and this is the real deserved win for Best Foreign Feature. Another movie that I really liked was Holy Motors. And it's a really twisted, really bonkers film. I'll use their terminology. Bonkers film. Just watch it. I really can't even put it over enough. Holy Motors was robbed here. It should have been nominated. But I want to get to that real quick. And those are the precursors have basically told the tale. The winner all day long is going to be Amour. Yeah, I'm not happy about it either, guys. It has been loved universally, and I don't understand. Did we watch a different movie? Honestly, it's kind of like how everybody liked. I gotta remember which movie this was off the top of my head. It was another foreign film, actually. Let's go to Best Foreign Film at the Oscars. Best Foreign Film Oscars. It's another movie that I really wasn't big on, actually. There's, the foreign film category is really interesting because most of the times they don't go for the right choice. And, like, last year they went for A Separation, which was highly, highly overrated. So we're going to talk about that. And, there's really nothing else that could have won, though, but still, it was highly overrated. 2010 went to In a Better World, which, I mean, surprisingly beautiful, which is Javier Bardem's movie. And a really messed up film called Dogtooth that I kind of enjoyed, I'll be totally honest with you. But what we're talking about right now, what we're talking about is 2009 again. And this is not the only time we're going to mention 2009 in this video. 2009, a movie called The Secret in Their Eyes actually won. And that movie sucked. I mean, Ajami was okay. I mean, but basically it was down, everybody knew the whole time it was down to A Prophet and The White Ribbon. Also by Michael Haneke. Which I like The White Ribbon. But I didn't like A Prophet. And everybody in the world loved A Prophet. And it won so many precursors. And when we actually got to the Oscar ceremony, what happened? It lost. It lost to The Secret in Their Eyes, which was absolutely terrible. Now, that being said, it's not going to happen this year. As much as I really wish it would. So my win, my undeserved win is Amour. I can't say a dark horse or an upset for this, but I'll try. My upset is A Royal Affair. And my dark horse is going to be Kon-Tiki. And I base this on absolutely nothing. Now. Alright. Let's get to animated. So we're gonna have some fun now. I can actually talk about these. So we're gonna talk about Best Animated Feature. And the Oscars has got it right before. I'll give you that. The Oscars actually has got it right. But a lot of the times it hasn't. I mean, there's a lot of awards that have went to Best Animated Films that weren't the greatest. I'll go Best Animated. And I do want to talk about, before we get anything else started, I do want to talk about the Annie Awards for this year. And the Annie Awards in previous years have been about DreamWorks, Sony. But this year it had a lot to do with Disney. And I'll tell you right now, Wreck-It Ralph took home 5. Count them, 5 Annie Awards. Including Best Picture and Best Director. I mean, even won voice acting awards for Alan Tudyk for King Candy. So, basically, Wreck-It Ralph just obliterated the Annie Awards this year. And that was awesome because it was really cool to see. Now, let's look at this. I'm looking here at the animated feature winners. Shrek. Shrek beat Monsters, Inc. That shouldn't have happened. Miyazaki's Spirited Away, which everybody seems to love. It actually beat Ice Age and Lilo and Stitch. Nemo won in 2003 and The Incredibles won in 2004, so I have no problems with those, obviously. I wasn't big on Wallace and Gromit, and you really couldn't give it to anything else because it was against Corpse Bride and Howl's Moving Castle, so no. Happy Feet shouldn't have won in 2006, but you don't give it to Cars, and maybe Happy Feet should have lost to Monster House? Not enough people liked it. It's kind of like a precursor to Paranorman. It's not the same thing, but it's kind of got that same vibe to it. That and Coraline both, but I'll get to that in a minute. Ratatouille won in 2007. I got no problems with that. WALL-E won in 2008. No problems with that. And Up won in 2009. And Up, of course, won for Best Picture in 2009 as well, because, of course, this is the first year you went to 10 Best Pictures. And Up beat a lot of really awesome movies. The Secret of Kells was not one of them. Princess and the Frog, I enjoyed very much. Fantastic Mr. Fox was absolutely incredible. I love Wes Anderson. I love everything he's done. And I really, really rooted for Henry Selick's Coraline, because I really love that movie. 2010, of course, went to Toy Story 3, of course. Again, ran for Best Picture, beating How to Overrate Your Dragon. I hate that movie. I'm sorry. I couldn't get into it. I just can't. I love America Ferrera, but no, I just didn't like it. I don't like it at all. And a really underrated film that I got to see called The Illusionist, which, amazing, amazing, amazing film. Like my prediction went true, Rango did win in 2011. And we watched everything in 2011. There was really nothing that could have won, even though everybody seemed to like Kung Fu Panda 2. Actually, the critics didn't like it, so I have no idea how it got nominated. And this year, we've got a lot of things to look at. First off, New York and LA went for Frankenweenie, which, I'll admit, I didn't really like that much. But I'm a big fan of Tim Burton. I mean, I like some of his work, but some of it just, like, rubs me the wrong way. And I think the guy personally rubs me the wrong way. But Frankenweenie won New York and LA. Okay. Then Brave came up and won the Golden Globe and the BAFTA. So Brave was a contender. And then, boom! Wreck-It Ralph just exploded. Took the 5 Annies, took the Critics' Choice, took the National Board of Review, and also won the Producers Guild. That being said, my win for Best Animated Feature at the Oscars, Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph will win. And you're talking about Brave. Brave is going to be my upset. It could absolutely upset Wreck-It Ralph. Don't get me wrong. It literally can happen. I'm sorry, AJ. It actually can happen. Brave can win on Sunday. My dark horse is Frankenweenie. Obviously, I want to mention the movie that I'd like to see win the Oscar, if a Disney movie is not going to win, and in this case, that's the only options you really have. I like The Pirates. I thought The Pirates was really funny, really well done. But all along, just like with Coraline, and how I mentioned Monster House earlier, I was all about Paranorman. Paranorman was awesome. It wasn't a kid's movie, kind of like Coraline, kind of like Monster House, and it had some really good voice acting. I really enjoyed the character. I enjoyed Casey Affleck's character, to be totally honest. It was really, really funny. But I like Paranorman. And Cody Smith McPhee was actually the voice of Norman. And Anna Kendrick actually played his sister. And it was just, I enjoyed it very much. I really, really liked Paranorman. Paranorman's really awesome. Actually, I mean, the cast is amazing. I mean, Jeff Garland's in it, John Goodman's in it, and Leslie Mann, Christopher Mintz-Plasse. It's just a great cast and a really, really awesome animated film that I really wish would have went somewhere. And it won a lot of, didn't win any actual precursors that I've looked at, but I mean, it's won a lot of like state, not state, but city, like big city awards. I mean, it's won a lot of those, so. Paranorman, of course, is what's in my heart, but it's Wreck-It Ralph's your win. Brave is my upset, and my dark horse is Frankenweenie. Okay. And we are down to the Big 8. And yes, AJ, I counted right this time. We are down to the Big 8. Adapted screenplay. Well, let me tell you a little story here. A story about 3 movies. And a story about another movie, actually. Now, adapted screenplay. Let's talk about this, shall we? There's been a lot of movies that have won for adapted screenplay in the past. And of course, this has been a really interesting category. This year, one of the things that is missing from this category is Perks of Being a Wallflower. And obviously, I was a big fan of the movie, and I didn't read the book, but I love the movie, and I'm sure the book is just as good, if not better. Depending on who you talk to, that's usually how it works. But basically, when it comes down to it, you have had a whole lot of movies. Now, let me talk about some of these movies in the past. Now, if you want to talk adapted screenplay, we're going to go to movies that have won. Like All About Eve won in 1950. And From Here to Eternity in 1953. Around the World in 80 Days in 1956. Bridge on the River Kwai in 1957. To Kill a Mockingbird won in 1962. Dr. Zhivago won in 1965. In the Heat of the Night in 1967. Midnight Cowboy in 1969. MASH in 1970. French Connection in 1971. The Godfather. The Exorcist. The Godfather 2. Cuckoo's Nest. All the President's Men. Midnight Express in 1978. Kramer vs. Kramer in 1979. Ordinary People in 1980. Terms of Endearment in 1983. Amadeus in 1984. Out of Africa in 1985. Of course, I need visual proof to say this. AJ probably knows this off the top of it. Actually, I know AJ knows this off the top of his head. Dangerous Liaisons in 1988. Driving Miss Daisy in 89. Speaking of Driving Miss Daisy, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Dances with Wolves in 90, Silence of the Lambs in 1991, Schindler's List in 93, Forrest Gump in 94, Sense and Sensibility in 95, Sling Blade in 96, LA Confidential, Gods and Monsters, Cider House Rules. 2000 brought us Traffic, A Beautiful Mind, The Pianist, Return of the King, Sideways, Brokeback Mountain, The Departed, No Country, Slumdog, Precious, The Social Network, The Descendants, and we get to another potential win. So, I want to talk about how things happen. Like, first off, Lincoln. Lincoln took New York. And then the National Society of Film Critics. And then finally the Critics' Choice. So, Tony Kushner is running on Cloud 9 at this point. Well, then Silver Linings Playbook took the National Board of Review and then surprisingly shocked everyone by winning the BAFTA. Put David O. Russell in the driver's seat. Then there's a little man by the name of Chris Terrio, who took L.A. and followed it up with the Writers Guild and won the USC Scripter Award. We've had a tough race this whole season for adapted screenplay. It's down to this. My win for adapted screenplay is Argo. Argo will win. Lincoln is my upset. My dark horse is Silver Linings Playbook. Any of these movies could possibly win. Let's talk Best Original Screenplay. Alright. Now, Best Original Screenplay. Throughout the years, Best Original Screenplay has went to a lot of really interesting films. Back in 1950 was Sunset Boulevard. And On the Waterfront in 1954. We go all the way back to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid in 1969, Patton in 1970, The Sting in 1973, Chinatown in 74, and Dog Day Afternoon in 75, Network in 76, Annie Hall in 77, and then all the way to 1981, the year I was born, for Chariots of Fire, Gandhi in 82, and Tender Mercies, which of course you guys would know as the original style for the movie Crazy Heart. And Witness in 85, Hannah and Her Sisters 86, Moonstruck in 87, Rain Man in 88, Dead Poets Society in 89. The 90s was Ghost, Thelma and Louise, The Crying Game, The Piano, Pulp Fiction in 94, and The Usual Suspects in 95. Fargo, Good Will Hunting, Shakespeare in Love, and American Beauty. 2000s had Almost Famous, yeah it did, Gosford Park, Talk to Her, Lost in Translation, Eternal Sunshine, Crash, Little Miss Sunshine, Juno, Milk, and The Hurt Locker. And of course, this decade so far has been The King's Speech and Midnight in Paris. And we're going to add one more to this list. I really wish Wes Anderson could win for Moonrise Kingdom because it was a great script and a great film, and he pretty much just fell off completely. It's really sad because Anderson has got a chance to win a Spirit Award on Saturday, and that's pretty much the end of it. John Gatton's for Flight. I don't even know why it's here, to be totally honest. It shouldn't be here. This nomination right now, that nomination for Flight should be replaced with another movie, and that's Looper. Looper won a lot of precursors, and when I did my research, Looper won a whole lot of precursors and looked like it was going to be the favorite. But like AJ said before, and as did happen, you can't put two badass films in the same original screenplay category, so Looper got bumped. Which brings us down to 3. Now, let's talk original screenplay precursors. Now, Zero Dark 30 ended up taking the Writers Guild. And then that put Mark Boal in the driver's seat, obviously. And then Quentin Tarantino, out of nowhere, took the BAFTA, the Golden Globes, and the Critics' Choice. So, in 2009, well, it's actually the 2009 season, but the awards took place in 2010. There was a little battle. There was a little battle just like it was only yesterday. just another battle for original screenplay between Mark Boal's The Hurt Locker and Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. Now, if you remember your Oscar history, on that night, The Hurt Locker did defeat Inglourious Basterds. I think what's going to happen, 3 years later, Tarantino is going to get his win back. That's right. I'm making a bold prediction. My win for original screenplay at the Oscars, Quentin Tarantino for Django Unchained. That's a big one right there. My upset is actually going to be Amour, which hasn't won anything, and the only reason people are giving it any credibility is because they nominated Haneke for director and Amour for picture. Number one, Amour should not have been in picture. That should have been Rice Kingdom. And number two, Haneke's spot should have went to someone else. Ben Affleck? How about Tarantino? That'd be awesome too. Because Ben Zeitlin should have been replaced by Tarantino and Haneke should have been replaced by Affleck. And then we'd have had an awesome 5. But anyway, I'll get to that in a minute, because actually we're about to go. My dark horse, no pun intended, Zero Dark 30. And I think that Mark Boal is not only going to lose to Quentin Tarantino on Sunday, he's going to lose to Michael Haneke on Sunday too. Because I say that Tarantino wins, and Boal is all the way as my dark horse. So that's my prediction. Alright, let's talk Best Director. And, this has been a wild year, guys. It really has. And I'll tell you right now, I said at the beginning of this video that when I walked out of Argo, I said that Ben Affleck was going to win Best Director. And we fast forward to the Oscar nominations. Kathryn Bigelow didn't make it. Oh well. Ben Affleck didn't make it. So, needless to say, I made a bold prediction on this very YouTube channel, and I said Affleck was going to win everything he's nominated for, despite the fact that he did not get nominated for the Academy Award. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Let's talk about people that have won Best Director. Names, very, very historic names, very important names in cinema, like Frank Capra and John Ford, Victor Fleming won for Gone with the Wind, and Michael Curtis, and William Wyler, John Huston, Fred Zinnemann, and David Lean, Billy Wilder, George Cukor, Mike Nichols, William Friedkin, Bob Fosse, Francis Ford Coppola, Woody Allen, Michael Cimino, Robert Redford, Warren Beatty, James L. Brooks, Milos Forman, Cindy Pollock, Oliver Stone, Sir Richard Attenborough, Oliver Stone, Barry Levinson, Kevin Costner, Jonathan Demme, Clint Eastwood, Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, Mel Gibson, James Cameron, Sam Mendes, Steven Soderbergh, Ron Howard, Roman Polanski, Peter Jackson, Ang Lee, Martin Scorsese, the Coen brothers, Danny Boyle, Kathryn Bigelow, Michelle Hazanavicius, and Tom Hooper. There's one name on this list that should be the final list. Ben freaking Affleck. And it's not going to happen because everybody thought that, oh, they're going to vote for Ben, they'll vote for Kathryn, it's fine, they'll vote for Tarantino, they'll vote for Wes Anderson, it's fine, no problem. Hooper will get into, no big deal. So why don't we just throw these votes towards a Ben Zeitlin or Michael Haneke? Like, yeah, we'll throw them some votes. And what happened when the nominations were announced? Affleck got snubbed. But you know what? It was a blessing in disguise. Because, just like I made that bold prediction, Affleck won everything he was nominated for. Affleck took New York. He took the DGA. He took the SAG. He took the Critics' Choice. He took the BAFTA. And he took the Golden Globe. And Haneke just took a National Society of Film Critics Award. So, we get to the Oscars, and there's really no way of knowing who's going to win Best Director, because Affleck won everything, and he's not nominated. So, we have a huge problem on our hands. Do you go with giving another win to Steven Spielberg for Lincoln, which is an absolutely brilliant movie that everybody thinks is going to win? Do you give it to Ang Lee for Life of Pi and go outside of the box in a more visually stunning film overall? Do you stupidly give it to Haneke and make all the art marks happy? God, I hope not. Or how about awarding David O. Russell, who got so close with The Fighter but just lost the last possible minute? So many questions. And what about Ben Zeitlin? Beast of the Southern Wild could possibly win a whole lot of Independent Spirit Awards on Saturday. Not that that matters for the Oscars, because obviously the voting's over, but he could possibly win, and he could possibly get propelled into a upset at the Oscars. So many questions. But I'm going to answer them, at least for myself. My win for Best Director at the Academy Awards is David O. Russell for Silver Linings Playbook. I know everybody is saying Spielberg, and I said all along there was going to be an Argo-Spielberg split. But it was going to be different. Obviously, Lincoln was going to win Picture, Argo was going to win Director. Shoop. Flip that around, and then I thought about it, and I saw Silver Linings Playbook, and I identified with it, and I loved the story, and I loved it, and it was awesome, and I've watched it over and over again, and I can't get tired of it. So, like The Descendants, it's extremely grown on me. And I think that's exactly what AJ's doing too. It's like, he really loved The Descendants, and he really loved Silver Linings Playbook, so it makes total sense. Now, here's the thing. That's my win. David O. Russell wins. He doesn't have any previous wins. There's no reason for me to be saying this, other than the fact that he's got to win something. They're nominated for way too many awards for it to lose. But then again, I haven't given anything to Lincoln yet, so am I going to let it go 0-11? No. No, I'm not stupid. There's one award it has to win. But on saying that, David O. Russell's my win. Steven Spielberg is my upset, and he could definitely win. He could definitely take it at the very last minute. But you know who the outside looking in is? Ang Lee. And I think Ang Lee could possibly just swoop in and take it out of nowhere. Whew, let's talk Best Supporting Actress. And first we're going to talk precursors. Now, Best Supporting Actress throughout the years. And this is fun, a little Oscar... This is fun. It's a little Oscar homage here. Basically talking about former winners of Best Supporting Actress in the past have included Hattie McDaniel won in 1939, and Anne Baxter won in 1946. You actually know her as Zelda the Great on the Batman 1966 TV show. That's for you, Will, right there. Donna Reed actually won in 1953. Another Batman alum, Shelley Winters, who played Ma Parker, she won in 1959. Shirley Jones, from the Partridge Family, she won in 1960. Winters won again in 65. Goldie Hawn won in 1969. Cloris Leachman won in 1971. Ingrid Bergman, Tatum O'Neal, Vanessa Redgrave. Meryl Streep won her first in 1979 for Kramer vs. Kramer. Mary Steenburgen, Jessica Lange, Linda Hunt, Angelica Houston, Diane Wiest, Olympia Dukakis, Gina Davis. We get to the 90s, we have Whoopi Goldberg, and we have Marissa Tomei, Anna Paquin, Diane Wiest again for Bullets Over Broadway, Mira Sorvino for Mighty Aphrodite, Juliette Binoche, Kim Basinger, Dame Judi Dench, and Angelina Jolie for Girl Interrupted. 2000s brought us Marcia Gay Harden, Jennifer Connelly, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Renee Zellweger, Cate Blanchett, Rachel Weisz, Jennifer Hudson, Tilda Swinton, Penelope Cruz, and undeservingly Monique. That should have been Anna Kendrick's award, I'm sorry. I know AJ would go for Vera Farmiga, but I would have went for Anna Kendrick. That's not just for personal reasons. Melissa Leo won in 2010. Octavia Spencer stole the award away from anybody else in that category, even though because I hated The Help, and Chastain shouldn't have won for The Help, and I absolutely abhor Bridesmaids, and Janet McTeer should have won for Albert Nobbs, which I really didn't like that much, but I would have given it a head. Now, that's what we're going to do with that. Now, we get to this year. And let's talk precursors. We'll talk precursors real quickly here. Supporting actress. Sally Field won precursor. New York. Okay. Then Amy Adams took L.A. and the National Society of Film Critics. And then the Hathaway train started. And Anne Hathaway won the Critics' Choice, the SAG, the Golden Globes, and the BAFTAs. That being said, supporting actress at the 2013 Academy Awards will be, my win is Anne Hathaway. Hathaway can't lose. There's no way she's losing. If I had to pick two people that are going to job to her, Sally Field is actually going to be my surprise upset. And literally, it's going to be an upset. And my dark horse is actually going to be Amy Adams. After thinking about it so much, she's won a lot of precursors. She's got a lot of buzz. I think I can honestly say she could be my dark horse. Now, this isn't saying much about Helen Hunt, who I absolutely love in the Sessions, or Jackie Weaver from Silver Linings Playbook, but it's not their night. Not this time. So that's how I'm looking at it. Here's the award that everybody's questioning right now. Now, Best Supporting Actor. Now, if you want to talk Best Supporting Actor, obviously we have to mention a couple things. Best Supporting Actor. Alright, so we'll start with precursors. And the precursors this year were interesting. Supporting Actor ended up starting out with Philip Seymour Hoffman in the Critics' Choice Awards. And then Jones came back and took the SAG. And then the Christoph Waltz train started when he won the Golden Globes and the BAFTA. This award has been given to a lot of very talented performers and a lot of talented heels over the year too, actually. We're going to go all the way back. We go back in time here. And we're going to start with some of these great. Jack Lemmon won for Mr. Roberts in 1955. Anthony Quinn for Lust for Life in 1956. Red Buttons and Burl Ives in 57 and 58. And then we go all the way to Walter Matthau in 1966 and George Kennedy in 1967. We're going to talk about Robert De Niro won for The Godfather Part 2 in 1974. George Burns won in 1975 for The Sunshine Boys. Jason Robards for All the President's Men. And then again for Julia in 1977. Christopher Walken won for The Deer Hunter in 1978. And then Timothy Hutton won for Ordinary People in 1980. John Gielgud. Louis Gossett Jr. Jack Nicholson won his first award in 1983 for Terms of Endearment. Don Amici, Michael Caine, Sean Connery, Kevin Kline, Denzel Washington, Joe Pesci, Jack Palance, Gene Hackman, Jones, Martin Landau, Kevin Spacey, Cuba Gooding Jr., Robin Williams, James Coburn, and Michael Caine. And then we get to the 2000s. Benicio del Toro, Jim Broadbent, Chris Cooper, Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, George Clooney, Alan Arkin, Javier Bardem, Heath Ledger, Christoph Waltz, Christian Bale, Christopher Plummer. And this year, we're getting another repeat winner. Now, obviously, 2011 should have went to Albert Brooks for Drive, but he wasn't even nominated. But that's another story altogether. I was very upset with that. My win, 2012, for the 2013, well, 2013 for the 2012 Academy Awards, will be Christoph Waltz for Django Unchained. 3 years ago, just like with Bowl versus Tarantino for screenplay, Christoph Waltz won everything. Every supporting actor award. I mean, there's been a lot of really good sweeps in supporting actor. I mean, Waltz just could not lose in 2009. I mean, he beat everybody. And Waltz was on a roll. I mean, Heath Ledger beat everybody for The Dark Knight. And basically, it was just all down to it. And I'm going to say right now, without any question, Christoph Waltz is going to shock the world. He's going to win another Oscar on Sunday. My upset is Jones. I mean, Jones could possibly win. I actually think he is... Everybody thinks he could win. Everybody thinks he will win. I'm going to go with Christoph Waltz. My upset is Robert De Niro. And I know a lot of people aren't really talking De Niro's name right now, but I think that he has a good possibility of getting in there and taking that final slot. Not obviously the win. Arkin hasn't really translated to all the Argo love, and Hoffman pretty much died out after the award shows. Well, he died out after the Critics' Choice Awards, so that's basically it. Let's talk actress, actor, and picture. We're going over an hour here. I hope that this video is sticking because it looks like we're about an hour 5 right now. Best actress, we're not going to talk precursors right now. Actually, we are going to talk precursors. It's down to 3 names, and 3 names only. And I'm sorry, I'm going to give honorable mention to Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who was in a phenomenal film called Smash, that if you get a chance to see it, watch it. And Michelle Williams for Take This Waltz. Excellent, excellent performances that did not get nominated. Now, we'll talk about Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30, and she won the National Board of Review, and then came back and took the Critics' Choice and the Golden Globe for drama. After that, Jennifer Lawrence came in, and she tied with Emmanuel Riva for Los Angeles Film Critics. Then won the Critics' Choice for comedy, the Golden Globe for comedy, and took the SAG. Riva did have that tie, like I mentioned previously, and took the National Society of Film Critics, and surprisingly won the BAFTA. I'm going to make a bold prediction. Your winner for Best Actress, Jennifer Lawrence. I think Jennifer Lawrence wins. I don't think this sudden surge for Emmanuel Riva is going to mean anything in the long run. I think Lawrence has had this all along, and she's going to have it again. Lawrence wins. Riva is going to be my upset, which she definitely could take it, and it's a very well possibility that she could take it. And Jessica Chastain is on the outside looking in. She is my dark horse. Let's talk Best Actor. Now, we started off with Joaquin Phoenix surprisingly winning Los Angeles. And then it just kind of got all over the board. Actually, Jackman took the Globe, only for comedy. Of course, we know the Drama Globe is what means the most. But then again, it still counts as an award. And then Bradley Cooper won the National Board of Review, and then he won the Critics' Choice for comedy. And then it started. And the Daniel Day-Lewis experience took us all on board. For New York, National Society of Film Critics, the Critics' Choice, the drama for Golden Globes, which actually matters, and the BAFTA. And it's going to go on to Sunday as well. My win all day, every day, without any question, Daniel Day-Lewis for Best Actor for his portrayal of Lincoln. My upset is going to be Hugh Jackman for Les Mis. And my dark horse is Bradley Cooper for Silver Linings Playbook. Let's talk Best Picture. Now, there are 5 movies that are in this. I really like to say Django's in this, but unfortunately it's not. It's down to 5. There's 4 movies that are not going to win. And that's a shame in some cases and not in others. I mean, Amour's not winning Best Picture, thankfully. So we don't have to worry about that. We're down to 5. Amour, on the other hand, did win, though. It did win L.A. It won Los Angeles Film Critics. Then it won the National Society of Film Critics. And then, train stopped. And then we went to Les Mis, which took Golden Globe for comedy, which, train stopped again. Zero Dark 30 was an early frontrunner, and when it won New York and they took the National Board of Review, it got everybody talking, but train stopped again. And went back to the Silver Linings Playbook, which get the Critics' Choice Award for comedy, which doesn't matter as much. And then it started. And just like I said, my bold prediction would then come true. And had a good chance to possibly come true because Argo started winning. It won the Critics' Choice. It won the Globe for drama, which actually matters. And it won the BAFTA. So here's the deal. We're going to talk about the Academy Awards, and we've been talking about it for over an hour now. My win for Best Picture for the Oscar ceremony this Sunday is going to be Argo. Argo wins without any question, in my mind, and Lincoln is my upset, and actually I want to say Silver Linings Playbook is actually going to be my dark horse. So, here's what I've got. I've got Les Mis winning 3, sound mixing, makeup and hairstyling, and supporting actress. Life of Pi is also going to win 3. Sound editing, original score, and cinematography. Sound editing, original score. Is it winning 3 or winning 4? Visual editing. God bless. Yay, it's winning 4! So Life of Pi wins 4 because it also wins visual. So, Life of Pi wins 4. Okay. I'll change that here. Sorry, long day. Anyway. Django is going to win original screenplay and supporting actor, so it'll take 2. Skyfall is going to win original song. Lincoln's going to win 1 out of 11 for best actor. Anna Karenina is winning 2 for costume design and production design. Silver Linings Playbook's winning 2 for actress and director. Searching for Sugar Man's winning best documentary. Wreck-It Ralph's winning best animated feature. And Amour's winning for best foreign language. And Argo wins editing, screenplay, and best picture. So I've got Life of Pi winning 4, Argo winning 3, Les Mis, Django, Silver Linings Playbook, and Anna Karenina winning 2. Skyfall, Lincoln, Searching for Sugar Man, Amour, Wreck-It Ralph, Paperman, Curfew, and Innocent winning 1. That is my 2013 Academy Award predictions. And if you don't like it, then I'm sorry. It's my opinion and my opinion only. A lot of people do agree with me. A lot of people don't. But we'll find out what happens this coming Sunday. And until tomorrow, for my TNA Impact review, that's all I got to say about that.